Hey there, everybody. I'm lying up here on my roof, and it's midday. And the moon is just sitting there beautifully. Can you see it from New Zealand? I'm sure you can. Zoom back out again. This is what I'm at today, this morning, up here on this roof, getting things done. Gonna work my way from the bottom to the top, and then I gotta tiptoe my way all the way back down again. So, sitting up here theorizing on things, theorizing on how we got ourselves into the mess that we're in, worldwide. There's the bells for midday. I don't know if you can see, Zorro's been out, only it's dyslexic Zorro that's been out because the Z is going the wrong way, look. Zorro, I didn't know you were dyslexic. Yeah, look, they're flying around. Midday, moon day. So, theorizing on things. I mean, the mess that we're in. Here's my theory on it, okay? And we all know what happened in 2019. In 2019, they closed the world down. And I reckon it's because all contracts ended. All contracts came to a close. These bells go mad, man. So they do. Midday, sun is at its highest in the sky, and the moon is just not too far from it. Yeah, contracts. Everything in this world runs on contract, no matter what it is. Transportation is run on contract. Communications run on contract. Even all the services that were supplied to us, housing, water, electricity, was contract. They're obliged to supply us with these things. Even though they hated us, they're obliged to supply us with this stuff, yeah? Healthcare and assistance, right? Doctors like to follow oaths and treat the needy. It's contract. The police to protect the people and uphold law and order. That was contract. And the judiciary to serve justice. They were under contract. Lawyers to represent their clients. Education, contract. Banking, contracts. Supply services to the people. And it kind of got our trust. We kind of grew up having a bit of trust in the system. Your money's safe in the post office. Your money's safe in the bank. You can live under the rules and regulations of the time. You knew them. You could twist them and bend them. Everybody knew everybody in the local office, and you could walk into the local council office and say, listen, hey, I need this done. Bang, it's done. This is the way we did things in Northern Ireland and Southern Ireland, on both sides of the border. This is how we did things. So we trusted the system. People trust the system that way, you know? And I had conversations recently with a few people talking shit, you know? Like, they want to talk about things. They want to talk about things that are important, but they're talking shit about the important things because they're listening to the news. They're listening to fucking BBC and Sky and CNN, all that shit. They're fucking completely fucking lost, right? And talking about justice, and it's asking, how are you going to fix the system? I said, well, we know who the guilty are. Well, really, who are the guilty? Politicians, guilty. Lying to the public. Yeah, lying to the public during a national emergency. That's actually treason. Yeah, so the journalists, the media are guilty. The corporate heads are guilty. The people who are in charge of the police and the military, who no longer are obliged to protect and serve. Instead, they go out and they smash the shit out of people with batons because they were told. hey, you can do what you want now. We're no longer obliged to be contracted to the people and carry out what we've been carrying out for the past 200 years. So it was in 1819 that these contracts were signed. And I was talking about the guilty. I said doctors are guilty, journalists are guilty, judges, lawyers, barristers, bar members, anyone who is a member of the bar signing an oath or reciting an oath to the bar is an act of treason in whatever nation state you're in this world, because the bar is the British accredited registry. It's owned by the Crown. The judicial system, the court system are owned by the Crown. All your fines go to the Crown. And it's registered in Puerto Rico, the pirate island, the most famous pirate island of the world. So they're still there. So a foreign entity registered in a foreign nation is in control of your judiciary. That's treason. Possibly even high treason. And you know the penalties for high treason. You know the penalties for treason. Treason is a long time in prison. High treason is a short time in prison, followed by a quick and humane guillotining or hanging, right? So this is, and also we got around to talking about taxes. I'm saying, how we just, this is all theft. They can't be taking taxes. Oh, people say, but how, the government need to take the taxes. How are they supposed to operate as a government if they don't collect the taxes? I said, limitedly. They can't, they're stealing everything. They're stealing everything they can from everybody. They're no longer under contract, even in banking, for your money to be safe. So if you don't give them the tax money and you limit their ability to spend, then they can make sure that there's important things like traffic lights are working and the fucking toilets flush, right? And that there are no restrictions. Commerce is open. The shops are open. All the food stalls are all open. Yeah, make sure that that's your legislation. Politicians don't do anything. There are two things that a government and a political system do. There's only two things that they do. Number one is nothing. They do nothing. Never do anything, never change anything, never give anything, keep it as it is. That's number one. Number two is to control a monopoly on violence. Because without violence, then they have no existence. They have no importance. They say that they're there because they are the law and order. And if they don't have violence, they don't have a police force. They don't need a police force. They don't need to protect themselves with guys with guns and armored vests in order to protect them. Why would anybody want to go and kill the leader of a country who's been elected by the people? The people love him. Why does he need such fucking protection? Because they have created a system where violence dominates, and from that they have legitimacy, right? Yeah, breeding into royalty, having the Rothschilds and Rockefellers or whatever, the rest of the banking cartels that work for the cabal. They don't own the banks. They had the rights to breed into the royal families and the aristocratic families of Europe in a 200-year contract from 1819 till 2019, when it all ended. And when the contracts ended, what happened? Chaos ensued. And the world is not the same place now it was 4 years ago. A fucking zombie apocalypse has been unleashed upon the fucking people. You can't walk down the street now. You're fucking getting bashed to death. And some of the people recently getting fucking bashed to death on the street are people who forget that what the last 4 years did. They think they're going to go back to normal. Oh, let's go back to where we were 4 years ago. Hi, brother, how are you? Yeah, bang, you're dead. So, yeah, so that's my rant from the roof for the day. Let me zoom in here. They're at it. Richie from 007 channel has been watching the skies also. Comment on my vids. A lot of you are watching the skies. You're watching out fucking Chinooks, man. And shit, you can hear them things coming. I get these massive big pumas come over sometimes. And 2 or 3 of them at a time. There's another one going in the other fucking direction over there. I can't really hold the camera all that steady while I'm zooming in. He's fairly high. Now, a lot of the things that they are spraying aren't really staying a very long time. Maybe during the day they dissipate. Anyway, you can see. Let me zoom back out again. I'm not very good at zooming while the light in my eyes up on the top of this roof. Anyway, look at that. Nice, huh? When I get to the top, I'm going to have to scrape my way back down. I must not forget I have to bring up some glue before I go any further. I'm gonna leave it at that, people. Trains, planes and helicopters. This is the 3rd time I've done a video from the roof, and they've stayed away for some reason. Anyway, I forget what I was fucking talking about, but that's what happened anyway. Alright, I'll see y'all later.